defamation case against his ex-wife, Amber Heard.
The 7-person jury reached the verdict after deliberating following several weeks of trial. Depp was not in the courtroom today as he had work commitments, but Heard did attend, and the jury awarded Depp $15 million in damages. But the judge reduced it to the maximum for the state of Virginia, so now he's going to get a little over $10 million. The jury also awarded Amber Heard $2 million in damages, who said she was defamed by Depp's lawyer when he called her abuse allegations a hoax.
All right, so joining us now to break it all down, San Diego trial attorney John Gomez. And John, such a high-profile trial here that went on for weeks today. A major victory, you'd have to say, for Johnny Depp.
Yeah, no doubt. Wherever Johnny is in London, at that nightclub, you want to be at, because there's going to be a very big party.
Is this the way you thought it would go down, John?
You know, I thought there was a likelihood that the jury would find for neither side, that is, neither of them would win. Next most likely outcome would be that Johnny would win. I never thought that Amber would win going away.
So about social media and its impact on a trial like this, there was Team Heard, you know, Team Depp. It was played out so much in a public arena. How did that influence the verdict? Well,
who knows? Amber actually testified about that. So normally the jury, at least in theory, would have no idea what was going out in the social media world, but she actually testified about it. So maybe it affected them, but I doubt it.
John, why do you think it turned out the way that it did? The jury, 7 people, came to this conclusion, given a lot of he said, she said throughout?
Yeah, I thought it was a very tough case, actually. Legally, a very challenging case for Johnny. I think a lot of times what we say is you always want to have a good client. You know, that really makes the difference. And in this case, I think the jury liked Johnny Depp. I think they believed Johnny Depp, and I think they did not either like or believe much of what Amber Heard had to say.
So how do you think that Johnny Depp's lawyer was able to counter all that negative, damaging evidence, including photos and recordings, especially in this era of Me Too movements?
I think it's a great question. I think just putting Amber Heard on trial, you know, kind of flipping the script and saying, look, you know, here's this demure, you know, victim who comes in here and acts very, you know, as a victim. Well, listen to this tape where she's anything but. Listen to this witness where she's described as anything but. And so I think really their lawyers effectively got it out of the defamation and the law and into, look, you know, this person is now presenting themselves as a person they really aren't.
Does this open the door now for other people who have been accused of similar things to come back and defend themselves in a different way?
Yeah, sure. I think it might empower those people more. They might see this as an indication that those cases might be more successful. And so you might see more of that. That's true.
Okay, so what about what happens next now? There's a lot of money to be collected, things like that. I mean, do you expect we'll see appeals?
Yeah, without question. Anytime a case like this, you get a verdict, there's going to be a motion for a new trial. So probably Heard's lawyers will ask the judge to throw the verdict out, say not sufficient evidence, and then it will go up on appeal, and so that process could take a year, year and a half, 2 years.
Let's talk about the money a little bit here. So Johnny Depp sued for $50 million. Amber Heard countersued for $100 million. The conclusion was much less. Lawyers have to be paid throughout this process. How do you summarize, I guess, how the money played out here and why the numbers were chosen that were?
You know, who knows? That place, that jury, and that area is not a big money place. Like if you tried that case in LA, it would have come back $1 billion, you know, for Johnny and $200 million for Amber. You know, but this is in Virginia, a very conservative location. I looked at that jury pool and I said they're not going to give a bunch of money, and they're probably going to be good for Depp, just looking at who they were. And so I think you start there, like this is not a big money place.
Why did it happen there, by the way, Fairfax, Virginia? That's where I'm from, by the way, and I couldn't figure out the connection.
Cool. Because the Washington Post actually publishes there, that's why.
Yes. Oh, that's a good point. You made a good point before we went on the air about, I was saying, you know, how about people getting paid? How are they going to get the money out of Amber? How are they going to get, how is this money going to exchange hands? And you just said, basically, who cares?
Yeah, I think, look, I don't think Johnny Depp needed the money. You know, I think he did this for other reasons. And I think that probably as a result, you know, I'm no entertainment expert, but I think he's going to do pretty well. And, you know, you're talking about social media. He is a very, very popular guy right now. So I think he's going to do quite well financially. Amber maybe not so much. So in terms of who collects what, I don't really think that was the point. I think this is the win that Johnny Depp really wanted.
Doesn't that kind of go against his very argument that his life and his career were so badly damaged? And he wasn't even at the verdict because he was working.
Yeah. Well, he was working. He was like playing guitar in
Jeff
London,
Beck
partying.
Maybe not working the way we know him to work.
Yeah, he was working real hard.
Yeah.
No, I think like what he's saying though is that by virtue of this jury speaking the truth and vindicating him, that now he has his life and career back. And I think you will see it just take off. I think after all this testimony, still hard for Disney to do a whole lot of business with him, but he's going to do pretty well, I think.
Yes, he seemed to come off. I heard more Team Depp than Team Heard, for sure. John Gomez, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.